Now, power to me is intentional living. I am aware of my actions and thoughts at any given moment. Hi, my name is Tara Fulkerson. I'm the founder of Rebuild From Within, where I help ladies identify and unravel deep-rooted survival patterns and create healthier ones, because we're all running one. I would like to share a little bit about myself, and I'm sure some of it will resonate with you. So let me just go ahead and dive in. You're a mom, a single parent, co-parent, entrepreneur, stay at home, have a career, divorced, possibly the Uber driver, the chef, the maid for someone at your house. I think you see, we're all running a lot of roles, and we just keep on pushing through and keep on playing through. And the big thing a lot of us don't see is that we're living our life for others and not ourselves. So how do we change this? Well, it's asking yourself, am I living my life in my power or from survival mode? Now, power to me is intentional living. I am aware of my actions and thoughts at any given moment, okay? And survival mode is where I'm flipping the lid, I'm mind tripping, I have increased anxiety. Those are two different ways of living. And for years, I was living in survival mode, the only way I knew how. I'd get the kids home from school, we had the homework done, they were fed, they were bathed, and I was having probably my second glass of wine to just kind of like numb out. Man, I deserved it, right? But what happened is that wine turned to Tito's, and it turned to a lot of Tito's. And if you don't know what Tito's is, that's vodka. And I was drinking it not to numb out, but to check out. Check out for the realization I was starting my life over after 26 years. I was scared, and secretly, I didn't like myself. And at the time, I don't even know if I was aware I didn't like myself. But I know that I was drinking to check out, and every day I would say, Tara, you gotta do better. Because every day I was waking up with fear, shame, embarrassment, but I didn't know how to do better. And what was so interesting is that everyone would come to me because I'm a physical trainer, and everyone would come to me for me to make them feel good, to look good, as I was silently dying inside with my own issues. Fast forward, I had a panic attack, my first panic attack ever. And I was in my garage, a client just left, another one was coming in, and I was pacing, my heart was racing. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was like, why am I having a heart attack? I'm too healthy for this. I literally saw me drop into the ground. All I could think is that my kids were going to come downstairs and find me and be like, well, that's our not so present mom. That scared the shit out of me. I sat there, and the next client came in, and instead of going and getting tissue and telling myself to suck it up, buttercup, I sat there, I looked at her, I tried to take a breath, and I said, I am an alcoholic. In that moment, that was the first steps to my emotional freedom, and my nervous system shifted. I entered myself into an intensive outpatient program. I quit alcohol, and I started my spiritual practices. What's interesting though is the vodka went out, but cake icing came in. Now, what's wrong with cake icing, right? And some of you may call it frosting, okay? I'll go to Bonds, I'd get a cake slice, and I would just eat the icing in between the layers and off the top of the cake. And I didn't think anything of it. And then one day my daughter was looking at me from down the stairs, and I was sitting right here, and she said, Mama, you're eating lots of the cake icing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I looked down, and that slice of cake was now this big birthday cake. And my fists were clenched because I was kind of irritated. She was bothering me during this ceremony of icing or frosting. And I realized in that moment, I just switched one addiction for another. Because we can remove behaviors all day long, but if we don't address what the behavior is trying to protect us from, we're just in a vicious circle, vicious loop. So I made the commitment to my mental health like I do my physical health. I was on a consistent, I had grit. I was like, I'm going to find out who Tara Fulkerson is. Who is Tara Boone Fulkerson? And what I found out is I had so many self-limiting beliefs about myself. And I discovered this all through my inner child work. Beliefs like I'm not good enough. I can't do that. No, others are smarter than me. I'm too old. all these things, all these beliefs are running the show. And where do they come from? Well, they come from our earliest years, from conception to 7 years of age. When our little nervous systems and our brains were overwhelmed, we created a habit, which became a pattern, which became who we identify ourselves as. And this pattern is keeping us in this box that we believe is us. And unfortunately, this box is holding us back to living a life of our own power. And what is guarding all these beliefs? Well, coping mechanisms, or a fancy word, protectors. But my coping mechanism was alcohol, and then it turned to icing. And being a physical trainer for 16 years here in San Diego, I have seen and witnessed the most human coping mechanisms. From watching ladies talking too fast, playing with their hair, looking at themselves in the mirror, to the girls that I met at the mall one day who just asked me about my physical appearance, and I was telling them I'm human and I have my own thing, and they felt vulnerable enough to share with me theirs. One was drinking a liter of Coke a day. I know someone who's eating 3 reams of rice cakes a day. To the lady who's spending all her hours scrolling on social media at night instead of being present for kids. To the person who's already had dinner but is finding herself snacking late at night. To the person who's smoking cigarettes or doing too much THC or online shopping. All of these are coping mechanisms. They are trying to protect us from what is the most important thing, and that is feeling. Feeling what is happening at that moment within us. And in my own spiritual journey, I realized there's 5 stages to all of this. Awareness, acceptance, getting to the root of where this belief and pattern started, learning the skills to reparent yourself when this comes up in your life, and integration. So when I work with people one-on-one, we see the big picture. I see the person sitting in front of me from when they were little to where they are now. And we dive in with the pattern, we discover self-limiting beliefs, and we start opening up the box and making it bigger, so this person can live and be their truest self. And if you're interested in what this could mean for you, then DM me. 1 hour, FaceTime, Zoom, in my Rebuild from Within space, and let's dive in and give you that opportunity to step into your awareness.